Hello, it's me, Nancy, today. So I went to the refugee camp in Fort Indiantown Gap, Pennsylvania. There were 185 people there, and it was a wonderful experience to be with all these Vietnamese people. They are so sweet and loving and kind. And I worked on this song, Vietnam, Vietnam, and tried to remember it and get the words. I had mentioned that the youth had taught me a few songs, and so one of these people with the camera wanted me to sing it for the camera, but I didn't want to sing it until I had the words right, because I knew anybody that knew Vietnamese would know that it was wrong. So instead of singing it right away, many people helped me, one after another. One would say, well, this is, and then they say, oh, and I don't remember anymore, but let me get somebody else, and so they get somebody else. And by the time I had the whole song written down, I had gotten to be friends with about 10 different people, and they were all rooting for me. And so I went up and I sang it on stage, the first song which opened the event. And people had tears in their eyes. It was a song like My Country 'Tis of Thee. It's a song that they had sung every day in school when they had grown up, before they had left Vietnam. And so it was very touching to them, because they hadn't been back to their country, most of them, in 40 years. They'd left everything. They just escaped with their lives. And so I sang it, and they were so excited. And so from then, I didn't have a certain table I was sitting with. I could go and sit with anybody, because they were all, I would arrive at a table and they would all clap. And then I would arrive somewhere else and they would all clap later, you know. And so I sat in a few different places. It was a really wonderful experience. And we stayed overnight in dormitories. There was, because it's a working fort, a base, a U.S. Army base. Also, after the president, there was singing and the band played, and then we ate dinner, and then there was a ceremony, and it was explaining the background on Fort Indiantown Gap, getting ready for the refugees, and how they came 24 hours a day for weeks, and how they processed them. And everybody would come within 2 days. They had their information about what they were good at, trying to line them up with people who would sponsor them so they could get off the base and go live somewhere. And so Saigon fell April 30th, 1975, and by November 1975, they had all been sponsored. And I told people that I had come up to volunteer to teach English. I was volunteering with the Red Cross because I was 19 years old, and friends of mine were going, and I said, oh, I want to go. And so I did. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And they were so grateful to me these many years later. And they said, thank you for teaching us English. And although I might not have been the exact person that taught them English, they were so grateful for all that the people of this country had done to let them have a new life here. Anyway, I'll upload this